and welcome. My name is Amanda and this is my channel, Her Pacific Northwest Washington Life, and today we are kicking off the week 10 vlog in Austin. I had a bit of a journey to get here this morning. My plane was delayed by an hour and change, and the mandatory meeting I was required to attend, the whole reason that I came down here, ended up getting canceled this morning. So then it was a question with my manager of should I even be coming down? And we decided that I would still come down for this trip. So I'm at the hotel now. I've only got a couple minutes. I'm actually meeting with my old manager, and we're gonna go to his house and have dinner with his wife and son and go for a little walk with his pup and things like that. But I'm staying at a new to me hotel. I'm at the Lone Star Court, which is in the Domain, and I wanted to give you just a quick little room tour. So we walk in, here's the door. It's just like a studio, which is totally fine, but you've got a nice little mirror if you head this way, a cute little fridge, and then on this side is the little sofa and table with all of the snacks you can purchase and things like that. There's lots of furniture in here. Got some nice little end tables with lamps and a queen, maybe a king. I think that might be a king. I'm not really sure, but I really like the like wrought iron headboard. That's what it's called. And then there's a little desk here, which is really cute. A giant wardrobe that has coffee inside and safe, and then there's just a bathrobe and hangers on the other side. And then the bathroom, which has this really cool like barn sliding door feature to it. So come into the bathroom and there's another big mirror. We have the shower over here, which is pretty big. And I really love this countertop. It's so pretty, but it's very spacious, very bright. And then over there is the toilet. So not a bad little getup, but I'm gonna go ahead and head outside. I'm gonna go wait in front of the office area. So I will check in tonight and tell you how my reading has been going today with traveling. So I will check in with you in a couple hours. All right, so I want to give a quick reading update before I go to bed. I just got in, well, not just, I got ready for bed. I steamed my shirt, brushed my teeth, washed my face, lay down my clothes for tomorrow. So like a half hour ago, I got in from having dinner with my old boss and his family, and it was really nice. We went for a walk, but the trail they wanted to take me on was closed. I didn't take any pictures or anything because I was just enjoying my time with them. So nothing to insert here, but I wanted to give you an update on my books. I was just listening to An Echo in the Bone. Claire's back in Philadelphia, reunited with the Hunters, and kind of reunited again with Lord John Grey. So not a lot going on there. She just performed surgery on Henri Christian for his tonsils and adenoids. So there's that. I think I've got like 5.5 to 6 hours left with that book, so not too bad. And then I started reading Heart of the Fae on the airporter to the airport, and read a little bit in between some naps on the plane as well. So I'm through chapter 4, and I'm now 29% of the way through. So there's 2 maps in here, and one of them has part of where I think the human-ish realm is. There's not really human realms or anything. There's the Seelie and the Unseelie kind of courts and territories. But anyway, one of the parts of the map is labeled as Ireland. But they haven't said it's Ireland in the story. So I'm gonna Google some of the names because there are city names, and see if they're names that either were cities in Ireland or what it says. But definitely counting this for the Irish Readathon. I don't have the prompts in front of me, so I'm not entirely sure what prompt this works for, if it works for any. Well, it does work for it has green on the cover. So there's that. The 3 readathons started yesterday, which was the first that I'm participating in for the whole month. So we've got the Irish Readathon hosted by Aoife at Fred Weasley Died Laughing, Elaine at Elaine Howland, and Leanne at Leanne Rose. There's the Creating & Co. Shop Your Shelves challenge that's going on the whole month, hosted by Paige over at Creating & Co. I always have a link to the Facebook book club group in my description box below for that. And then the Harry Potter and the Order of the Planners, the House Pride Readathon is going on right now. So I haven't actually looked at those challenges in a little bit to see what this one would work for, but hopefully it works for one of the houses. I think there's 2 challenges per house, so there's a total of 8 challenges. And then there's the yearly Creating & Co. challenge, which has 30 prompts on it. And she started doing seasonal challenges as well. So spring is out, and there's 15 prompts for the seasonal ones. So I'm for me, spring is like March, April, May. So for these 3 months, I'm going to try and read 15 books to fill up those prompts. And then when I'm done with the seasonal challenge, before we move into the next season, I'm going to go back to the yearly and mark things off where they fit, which doesn't have anything to do with this update, but I thought I would let you know. So reading Heart of the Fae is going pretty well. This is a book by Emma Hamm, and I heard about it from I think his name is Jay. His channel is Captured in Words, and he hasn't really uploaded content in quite some time, but he had mentioned these books in a video like last year or the year before, and I picked them up. So I've had them on my shelf on my Kindle for a while, and just now getting to them. But they're basically Fae books. So our main character in Heart of the Fae is named Saoirse, and she is a healer and a midwife. And I don't know anything about her dad, but her mom was also a healer, but also branded as a witch. And she was, I think, burned for witchcraft. So there's this man who runs a brothel who found Saoirse when she was basically left an orphan and brought her into this brothel where he, like, these girls are still prostitutes, but she's not. And there's this like plague of beetles that's been happening. I think they're called blood beetles, where these things like fell from the sky and like they bury into people's skin, and they like feed off the flesh and the muscle and the tissue and all that stuff inside humans, and they reproduce until like the person is dead. So this has happened to the dad guy, and so Saoirse is trying to be a part of the like medical guild in town, but they don't accept her because she's a woman. So she made a deal with an unseelie fae, and was told that she has the cure for the blood beetle plague, but Saoirse had to find the twins of the unseelie fae, and then the twins sent her on a mission to go find this other twin who was banished by his family. So where I'm at right now, Saoirse has made it to the island where this prince, his name is Aemon, has been sent. So I think things are going to start to pick up quite a bit more. I was having a hard time reading on the plane. My concentration wasn't there. And I was also falling asleep a lot. So I had to go back and reread sentences or a couple paragraphs to figure out what was going on. But other than that, it's been a quick read. I mean, I'm already a third of the way through in one day, and I had maybe 3 hours to read, maybe 4 hours. So I think it's going well, and I'll definitely finish that this week. I'm going to finish An Echo in the Bone this week as well. And I think my next audiobook is going to be by John Boyne, who wrote The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. I think it's a nonfiction book called, I think it's The Heart's Invisible Furies or something like that. I have the loan from my library, and that fits for the LGBTQ plus prompt because John Boyne is, I believe he's a gay man, but I'm not 100% sure. So that's what my reading's looking like for this week. I'd say it's going pretty well so far. We kicked the week off with a good start. Tomorrow is the only night I don't have plans with coworkers, so I am gonna go get some ramen and maybe walk around the Domain a bit, just to be out and about. So I'll check in with you tomorrow when I get back from work and maybe take you along with me with whatever I do. So I'm gonna say goodnight for now, and I will chat with you later. I just want to do a quick check-in before I tuck in for the night. I'm exhausted. I didn't get very much sleep last night. And I'm just a little jet-lagged. But I have been listening to An Echo in the Bone today. I have just under 2 hours left. Script is showing an hour, but I think I'm probably at an hour and a half. And there's a lot of things happening right now that I don't think are going to be resolved by the end of this book. So I think Diana Gabaldon is going to leave us with quite a few cliffhangers and things like that. So lots of events, some good, some not so good, that will be interesting to see how she wraps those up and how she comes full circle with them. I just read one chapter in Heart of the Fae, and I don't really like the main character that much. She's very self-righteous, and she's on this quest to save her family and the people she loves, but also she doesn't, she just expects everyone to bend over backwards and help her and to follow through with the plan she has set, and doesn't realize that other people, or I guess the fairies, have things that they're dealing with as well. So she's kind of obnoxious, but we'll see how that progresses. So I didn't get much reading in today. I was starting to fall asleep and decided that I need to just go to bed. Today I went out for dinner at Jinya Ramen in the Domain, and it was pretty good. And tomorrow I've got a team dinner, so we are going to Doc B's, which is also in the Domain, and they have really good key lime pie, so I'm really looking forward to dessert tomorrow. But I think that's about it for today. Like I said, I'm just really tired, so I'm gonna go to sleep now and hopefully fall right asleep, since I was already falling asleep reading my book but we'll see. I don't usually fall asleep that quickly. So I will hopefully have An Echo in the Bone finished tomorrow and check in with you to see how many loose ends we have left to be tied off. So I will speak with you then. Holy moly, did I get soaked this morning. That's my first real storm I've been through, like a southern storm, which are completely different, I feel, from Washington storms. But I was hungry and I wanted to be at work by 7:30. So I decided to brave the rain and I got soaking wet, which is fine. I kind of dried out by the end of today. But today I finished An Echo in the Bone. While I was at work, I only had 30 minutes left and was working on an Excel sheet, so I was able to listen while I was working on that. It was an interesting ending. Our characters are back together, but also somewhat separate, so it'll be interesting to see how Diana Gabaldon fully brings them back together, if she does, and what's gonna happen along the way. So that was good. I've only got one book left in the series right now that are published, so I'm not gonna start it for a little bit, but I do still have Written in My Own Heart's Blood. I think it's the 8th book and the last one that's published right now, and I'm really intrigued to read the Lord John Grey books. My friend Bailey, she has started reading them, and Lord John Grey is both one of our favorite characters, so I'm intrigued to kind of find out a little bit more about him. But with events that happen, I just really like how tender he was with Claire and things like that. So when I was finished with that, I started the Heart's Invisible Furies by John Boyne, which works for the Irish Readathon prompt to read a book by an LGBTQ plus author, or about a character who is LGBTQ plus. John Boyne is a gay man, so this works for that. And I've heard a couple people talk about it, and for some reason I thought it was a biography or memoir, but it's not. It's an actual story about characters and things. But we follow I think her name's Catherine. I know some people call her Kitty, who was I believe she's 16 years old at the start of the book, and she is pregnant by her uncle, I believe, and gets found out by her parents and her church, so she gets kicked out of the house, and she lives near Cork City, but she's down in County Cork, and so she takes a bus. It takes place also during or at the tail end of World War II. So she takes a bus to Dublin and meets a boy along the way who offers to let her stay with him and his friend, who works at the Guinness Storehouse, or I guess it wouldn't have been called the Guinness Storehouse then, but the Guinness Distillery. And the boy, Sean, is supposed to get a job working at Guinness as well. So she starts work in a tea room as a serving girl, and spins this tale about how she is a widowed woman and her husband passed away in the war, and her mom just passed away from cancer, so she's trying to make people feel sorry for her so that she can actually get a job and stuff. In the part I'm at, it's an hour and a half in now. She has just had her baby out of obviously wedlock. I'm assuming it was rape and not consensual sex with her uncle, but I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't really go into that. So I'm intrigued to find out more about what happens there. And then I also just read another chapter in Heart of the Fae. Sorry. And Sorsha is settling in on High Brazel. I'm not really sure how you pronounce the island, but she has found Aemon, like I said, and they're already starting to like fall for each other and things like that, but she's just kind of settling in and making friends with a boggart who was like a lesser fae in the House of a Hag. So interesting to see where that goes as well. I'm 43% of the way through that, so I'll make probably read another chapter tomorrow, and then assuming I don't fall asleep on the plane on Friday, I'll make quite a bit more progress. So I might have that book done by the end of the weekend, but I'm not entirely sure. So right now I am going to lay in bed. Sorry for that very reason. And I think I want to listen to a bit more of the Heart's Invincible Furies before I fall asleep. So, also, maybe I won't say it. I'll tell you how else that counts for the LGBTQ plus prompts later. But yeah, I'm gonna tuck myself in, and well, I'm already tucked in, but I'm gonna keep listening to the book. So I will hopefully check in with you tomorrow. I'm going out with a colleague and to hang out with her daughters and possibly her husband. I don't know if he'll be coming along as well. We usually go to some sort of like local burger joint that has a playground so that the girls can run around and get out some energy. So I assume we're going to something similar to that, but I'm not entirely sure. I haven't asked her yet what we're doing. I don't really care. I just like to hang out with her and see her girls and stuff. So I'm gonna do that. It might be a late-ish night tomorrow, but we'll see. Probably no later than tonight. I did a team dinner tonight at Doc B's, which is it will be a restaurant that I frequent when I'm in Austin. It's only my second time being there. They have really good key lime pie, which is the main reason why I wanted to go. Yeah, so I'll probably get some reading in tomorrow. And while I'm at work, I should definitely be able to read some more of the Heart's Invisible Furies. So I'll catch up with you all tomorrow. Hopefully I don't get rained on. Hopefully the storms are done until I leave, and I can get a good chunk of reading done. So I will check in with you tomorrow at some point. Goodness, there is a 9-day difference between the weather yesterday and today. This is going to be a quick update because there's road noise to the left of me and there's kind of a fan sort of thing, building, whatever, in front of me. So it's probably a bit noisy. But I just got back to the hotel from work. I'm going to sit in the chair for a little bit. I've got about 2 hours until my friend and her family come pick me up. We're gonna do dinner with her girls. They're little rascals, so we typically go somewhere where they can play around. I think we're going to a Tex-Mex place, but I don't remember what it's called. So that'll be good because I haven't had Tex-Mex yet since I've been here. I listened to a bit of The Heart's Invisible Furies this morning. Still really enjoying that read. Our main character, Cyril, he has just met a friend, so I think it'll be interesting. I also think he might be gay. He's 7 years old, so he doesn't really know, but the kids decided to show each other their things, and he got little like excited feelings about it because it was the first one he'd ever seen other than his own. So we'll see how that storyline develops. So I think aside from this working just for having an LGBTQ plus or gay a gay author, I think the characters in this book might also be gay or LGBTQ plus of some sort. So there's that. I'm gonna read Heart of the Fae. Hopefully get a couple more chapters read than I have been, just because I'm not reading in bed right now and I've got about 2 hours to kill. So I'm hoping to get a good chunk of that read, like at least 2 or 3 chapters, but we'll see. The chapters are pretty long. They're, I don't know what the pages are because my Kindle isn't showing like 1, 2, 3. It's showing the like 15, 46 or whatever the weird page count is. So I've been going based off of time to read the chapter, and most of the chapters are like a 30-minute read or 45-minute read. So they're a bit longer than what I typically like. But I'm gonna go ahead and get some reading in. Hopefully not get sunburnt. I've got my hat and some sunglasses to protect me just a little bit, but the sun is making its way this way, so we'll see how long I can sit out here. I might actually have to move to a chair in front of one of the other rooms here. I'm not sure if I've got neighbors. I think I do because I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I was hearing doors slamming last night, but I don't know if I have neighbors or if that was up or down one way, so we'll see. But I'm gonna get to reading now, and I will maybe check in when I get home. I'm not entirely sure, so I will speak with you at some point. Probably won't check in tomorrow because it'll be a full day working in the office as well as traveling home, but I'll probably have some like b-roll of airport-esque things. We'll see. So I will check in with you at some point. Austin now, and I had 2 packages show up while I was gone. Well, a couple packages, but 2 that I'm going to show you. The first was a Creating & Co shipment for the anniversary sale. I picked up some like audiobook stickers, ebook stickers, and some stacked stickers, like book stack stickers. And I've got the classic colorway. I've got the anniversary colorway. There we go. The anniversary colorway. I also got the anniversary colorway for finished reading. The spring colorway for started and finished. The anniversary colorway for started. And then I got just an extra set of the Book Lover Readathon Kindles, as well as the just colorful book stacks. And then the just colorful started and finished reading stickers. So there's that. I also bought the anniversary bundle washi, which is a book stack and just skinny floating book washi. And I got this journaling card with it that says, "Beneath the stars, we are all dreamers." And then the other thing I got was my Geek Gear box for February. So we got an email a couple weeks ago that shipment was delayed because the shipper had dropped the pallet that had the boxes all bundled together on it, and there was an item that broke in probably like 90% of the boxes, I want to say. So they had to reopen every single package and check and get it ordered in and stuff. So it was delayed by quite a bit. But it came while I was away. The item that I am sure was the one that broke was this Amortentia Love Potion, which is a really big and really generous size potion. So that's pretty cool. The label just says Amortentia, the most powerful love potion in the world, which will go nicely on my top shelf there that's running out of room for my Harry Potter stuff. We also, I think we're getting all of the dragons from the Triwizard tournament, but this month is the Swedish Short Snout, and I did change my size to the unisex medium because I think I had the women's large, might have been the women's medium, but I just didn't really like the cut of this t-shirt, and it just felt really like small and constricted. So I want these mostly for like sleep shirts, so I figured if I got the unisex medium, that would work out well. There is also another chess piece in this box. I'm not sure when the original one came in. It might have been December, but it was, I believe, the Queen. But this one is the Knight, and he is pretty cool. We also got another charm, which is this year's kind of like special item, and this one is a mini love potion. And then let's see, yeah, none of those have like designer names or anything. So next we have a licensed and exclusive print from Warner Bros. So this one says, "You have nothing to fear if you have nothing to hide," which I'm pretty sure is a Ministry quote. But this was designed by Pyramid International and licensed by Warner Bros. And I really like this one. So that'll be nice whenever I have my future library. We also, as part of the Friends series, I don't really know what it's called. There's a print of, I'll show you, but the artwork is done by Holly Simpson, and you can follow her at Holly Simpson Art on Instagram. But this is what it looks like, and I really, really, really like this one. It still goes with the kind of style of Kevin Cantwell, I believe is his name, but I don't know. There's something about the lake looking up to the castle that just really makes my heart so happy. So I've got that, and I'm going to put it back in the tube. I'm not going to do anything with it now until I have a space where I can actually display it. But I like that. And then we got a wand this time. So this one was designed by Kelly Blackburn, who is a Geek Gear customer. It is the Draco Pes. It's a 13.25 inch length with an Akami feather core and dark wood type, but it is the Dragon Claw, which you can kind of see there a little bit. This one's pretty weighty. Not necessarily one of my favorites, mostly just for the colors, but it's pretty cool regardless. So, and it's always nice to have another wand. I've got 4 now, and I actually have 3 more on the way because I ordered just the wand subscription. Just like a one-off subscription. I'm not continuously enrolled in it or anything. But those are my items. I also have a reading update. Last night on the plane, I finished Heart of the Fae. I'm giving it a 2-star rating. I think the idea of the book is really good. It just, for me, wasn't executed very well. And I feel like towards the end, the editing got really sloppy. I noticed a lot of like spelling and grammatical mistakes. But also, Saoirse doesn't know the name of the supposed to be king, the fairy prince, until like the very, very end when he tells her. And there's a point when she's thinking about him and she says his name. And it's like, you don't even know his name. Like, you've been calling him Stone this whole time. Where is this coming from? So I wonder if maybe she like forgot that she didn't reveal his name to her until the very end. But I don't know. It was weird. And it took like months that this girl was on the island trying to convince the prince to come back and help her cure the blood beetle plague. And it just didn't feel like any time at all was passing by. And them falling in love just wasn't believable because we didn't feel like that time of them together and it passing and all this other stuff. So I think it just needed a bit more work and it could have been a lot better than what it was. But I'm still intrigued enough to want to continue on. And I do own all of her books. I got them on Kindle for probably $1.99 each. So I just bought all of them up. I think there's 5 of them in the Otherworld series. So the books 1 and 2 follow Saoirse and Eamon, and then the other books follow side characters that we have been introduced to. So it'll be interesting to see where those go. But this book just kind of fell flat a little bit for me. I was really excited for it, and it just wasn't really what I expected. And I also listened to a bit more of The Heart's Invisible Furies, and that's going pretty well. I really don't like Julian as a character. He's just such a stinker, and he's obnoxious. And it makes sense because he's a 14-year-old boy, but all he thinks about is sex and girls and their body parts and things like that. And it's just like... I feel like a lot of boys think about that, and they probably do talk about it with their friends, but at the same time, like, I don't really want to read a book where it's like that. So we'll see how that goes. I think I'm about 6 hours in, so I might have maybe like 14, 15 hours left. Today is an at-home day. I'm gonna try and finish setting up my new planner. Just the reading portion, so I can kind of like figure out where I am for this month because I feel like I'm a little all over the place. And I'm also going to potentially start making my crepe paper carnations. I think that's, or at least start cutting out the shapes so that I can start assembling those maybe tomorrow. So that's the plan for right now. I'm going to put all of this stuff away, and I will check in with you at some point. Maybe I'll start editing this vlog today as well. Nah, I'll probably just wait till tomorrow. But Anyway, if I have a reading update, I am going to listen to The Heart's Invisible Furies while I do my crafty stuff. That way I can get that book underway. And I think it's due back to my library in 8 days, so I really need to get that finished up. But that's my plan for right now, so I will check in with you when I have an update. I've spent pretty much the whole day yesterday and today setting up or finalizing spreads in my planner for the year. Mostly reading spreads is what I've been working on. And while I did that, I finished The Heart's Invisible Furies by John Boyne. And I haven't put it through my reading system yet, but I'm pretty sure it's a 4-star read for me. I really, really liked that book. It is a fiction in its own voices. The main character in the story is gay, and John Boyne is also a gay man. And it basically just follows Cyril's life from the time he's conceived until almost his passing at, I don't know, he's probably like 70 something, early 70s when the book leaves off. And just how it was for him being a gay man in Ireland in the 1940s through the 2000s, and just what that was like for him. So it's hard to read. I'm sure if you are also I don't know how to say it, but I guess if you're not straight, to read what it was like for people during that time. But it also is very like endearing and heartwarming at the same time. And the story basically comes full circle, and I think it was just written very well. So there's that. I also started reading last night. I have the dust jacket off, but it's The Last Days of Magic by Mark Tompkins. I bought this in the clearance bin at Barnes & Noble a couple years ago, and basically I feel like if I don't get to this book this year, I'm probably not going to read it, so I need to unhaul it. But this takes place also in Ireland. I think it's kind of like a parallel world, not like a parallel world, I don't know how to say this, but it's also got like a lot of Irish fairy and folklore in it. So I only got through the prologue, and it started off to me very similar to both The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert and what was the other thing I felt it was quite similar to? I don't remember. I might think of it here in a little bit. But basically, prologue, we are with a granddaughter. Her name's Sarah, I believe. And she gets a phone call from her mom, not her mom, her grandma, saying that basically she's on the run from these people who are trying to get to her. And within these old fairy tale books that the grandma used to read to Sarah are some, National Treasure, that's the other one that is hidden within the covers of these books are parts of the Dead Sea Scrolls, which tell stories that the Catholic Church didn't want getting out. And that Sarah needs to meet her grandma in, I believe it was Belfast, is where they were headed, so in Northern Ireland, with these scroll pieces. And I didn't make it very far before I was falling asleep last night, so I think that'll be interesting. We'll see how it goes, at least. So moving into next week, that means I only have The Last Days of Magic. I need to find an audiobook to listen to, but I'm participating in 3-month-long readathons. The Irish Readathon, the March Shop Your Shelves Readathon, and the Hogwarts House Pride Readathon. And I have a lot of Irish books on my physical TBR, which also they work for the Irish Readathon and the March Shop Your Shelves, but I don't have very many Irish audiobooks. So I'm kind of torn between picking up just random audiobooks or like going and searching for Irish audiobooks and wanting to pick up books. Actually, I should just pick up books I already own. That way they work more for March Shop Your Shelves, because yeah, I think I'd like that better. I don't know, but I'm gonna need to figure out a new audiobook for the week. So that's Monday's problem. I'm gonna go ahead and close this vlog off here. It was a very, very busy week being in Austin, but I finished 2 books, so I feel really good about that. And I think next week is going to be great. I get to finally meet Darshell over at Books and Planners and Kayla over at Whole Lot of Plans, where my friend and I are driving down to Portland on Tuesday to meet them and have brunch, and we're going to go to Powell, so I'll definitely take you with me then. But I'm really looking forward to next week, and this week was great as well. So I would love to know if you're participating in any of the 3 readathons that I mentioned. If so, what have you started reading so far? I'd be really interested to know, especially what prompts you're putting them towards. I finished Heart of the Fae on Friday, and for the Hogwarts House Pride readathon, I think I'm using that as the Gryffindor prompt with a strong female character. I am using it for green on the cover for the Irish Readathon, and then the Heart's Invisible Furies, the Hufflepuff prompt of a character that goes through growth, and the LGBTQ plus book. So that's where I am so far. 2 books down, many, many more to go. But I will chat with you down in the comments until my next video. Bye.